Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Mamiko Odegard, and I want to welcome you to this exciting teleconference on Unleashing the Power in You, where the focus is on overcoming self-sabotage and claiming your love, your happiness, and financial success. You are at the right place at the right time. I want you to know that this will be an exciting coaching call as well as an opportunity for you to ask questions and have those answered. You are on this call because you're drawn to the idea to unleash the power in you to jumpstart your love, your happiness, and success in every area of your life. Now, who wouldn't want that to start out the new year? So again, for those of you who are just getting on this call, this is Dr. Mamiko Odegard, and I want to welcome you. If you got to the website, drmamiko.com, and that's DR, and then M like in Mary, A, M like in Mary, IKO.com. Or you can get there easily by going to www.actonlove.com, which also takes you to my Dr. Mamiko website. And there you will find a valuable checklist available that's titled, Are You Sabotaging Yourself? This contains a list of ways that you may shortchange your personal life as well as your career. If you haven't downloaded this document prior to this call, then when we are done, just go to the drmamiko.com, and then under the Services tab, you will see the option, Overcoming Self-Sabotage. That's right, just go to the site, look for the Services tab, and then see that option of Overcoming Self-Sabotage. Just opt in and you'll immediately receive your personal copy. Now, you can probably tell that I'm pretty passionate about my message, and I share it so that it's important for me to experience connecting with you and you having the value from this call, from which you will come away with several different benefits. Number one is becoming aware of the various ways you self-sabotage. 2, the full definition of self-sabotage. 3, how sabotage can start within all of us. 4, what you can do now to begin to overcome sabotage. And 5 is encouragement, support, and a blueprint for success. 6, an invitation to a 5-series teleseminar course with group coaching that is designed specifically for your needs and to promote your success. And 7, a time to ask me anything at the end of this call as well as the other calls. So here's a definition of self-sabotage so that we're all on the same page. Here's my definition. It is to consciously or unconsciously make moment-to-moment decisions that lead to self-defeat and regret. When you self-sabotage, it can also lead to feelings of frustration, anger, low self-esteem, and a sense of failure, and feelings of being trapped and stuck. Now, your actions and your thinking and the ways that you respond can be either chronic or it can become automatic, so that you deny yourself your rewards and the goals that you want. So you sabotage or shortchange yourself, and you leave yourself feeling less worthy and dissatisfied. So basically, here's an easy way to think about and to understand self-sabotage. Self-sabotage can be anything that prevents you from reaching your goals or the results to have the life you desire. It is expressed daily in the choices that you make, such as not making the effort to engage in another person. That's right, not making the effort to engage with another person in conversation, or not following up with another individual in a timely manner. Just think about how many times you've met someone at a networking meeting, or that you've been out with a person socially, and then the conversation was one-sided because all that individual could do was to talk about himself or herself. He or she never asked anything about you. So think about that. Imagine that situation. How did you feel? Do you ever want to get together with that person again? Probably not. And it can also happen easily in your daily routine. And maybe you don't think of it as being self-sabotaging. But here's a little bit of information to just increase your awareness. And that is, when you're rushed or you're tense, you're more likely to snap at your partner or your children. And especially if that happens where you get into an argument, and maybe you have a teenager or teenagers in the house, and you snap at them before you go to work. And the reality is that they snap back at you, and it starts your day off wrong, where that's all you can think about. And that's where I want you to know that self-sabotage can affect us in so many ways, big and small. Now, you're the only one to see your personal assessment of that checklist that I talked about earlier. So I want you to be truthful with yourself and use this as a pretest or baseline, if you will, because it's really all about you and you improving the quality of your life and getting what you want and deserve. So please use this checklist and do it before you complete this course, because in this teleseminar course, we're going to talk about areas such as personal relationships, business and career, individual performance, team performance, leadership, and experience. It will be helpful for you to really just hear about some of the examples of behaviors and characteristics of self-sabotage in various areas of your life. And these definitely affect your performance. And when I talk about performance, it's really about the ways that you show up and the results that you get. So you are the only one, like I said, to go through and see this personal assessment. And just do this as a gift to yourself. Now, as I discuss the various areas that are on this checklist and the ways that you might be sabotaging yourself, it's likely that one or more will resonate with you. So please take the time to write down any items that you sense are pertinent to you. The power to unleash comes when you become aware of the various ways that you begin to sabotage your success. It is that first step towards change, because I want you to all know and remember that all change starts with awareness. Yes, all change starts with awareness. This change then begins with you becoming consciously aware and looking for ways that you sabotage yourself, as well as consciously choosing much more empowered actions. So here's some examples of how you might sabotage your personal relationships, which includes, by the way, the relationship with yourself as well as others. For instance, you don't place a priority on yourself. You put others in front of you so that your needs are not met. You feel resentful and jealous much of the time. You attract and choose the wrong partners who cheat on you, betray you, and hurt you emotionally and physically. You don't stand up for your wants, your needs, beliefs, and values. Or you feel unworthy. So here are some ways that you sabotage business growth. You think that no one can do a task as well as you. So therefore you work way too much and get too little in return. You feel exhausted mentally, emotionally, and physically from doing too much and not asking for help. Or how about this? You don't charge what your service or products are worth. And finally, under business or career growth, you choose not to go along with what your heart and mind are telling you. So when I talk about business growth and these characteristics, this can apply to you whether you're an entrepreneur or you work for a corporation. It applies to anyone, even athletes that are working together. So here are some ways that you sabotage individual performance. You create or have low energy and low motivation due to anxiety and fear of failing. Or you experience consistent discomfort that others will discover that you're not nearly as smart or clever or creative or even decisive, or that you're not the leader that they believe. Or you're fearful that someone else will make you look bad. And how many of you think that ultimately someone is going to take over your position, or you procrastinate and you don't understand the reasons why? So here's how you can sabotage team performance. That you don't participate or perform as a team player. You don't listen carefully and openly to others' ideas and visions for accomplishing goals. You have problems with jealousy and competitiveness, hogging attention, or somehow you take away from the well-being of a company or team. The other thing, too, is that have you ever tried to look like the hero? Here are some ways that you can sabotage leadership and excellence. One way that's obvious, and that is to hire people that are less qualified, knowing that they're not going to outshine you. Or you fail to recognize people who produce quality work and then add to the organization's well-being.
I don't care.
You take credit for staff members' contributions and ideas, and you delegate unrealistic goals that are not achievable. So here are the realities of self-sabotage. The reality is you do it, I do it, we all do it, just to different degrees. It's only when self-sabotage becomes really problematic that you need to be concerned. And that's why I want to congratulate you for being on this call. I applaud you for doing the best that you can to be the best that you can be. Hooray for you. You don't have to be struggling or be at the point of anxiety and despondency at work or in your personal life. Because unleashing the power in you begins with having the awareness and tools to create the best person you can be, the ways that you take charge of your life and of giving your best performance. And of course, it has to do with having your best life. I define performance as the ways that you show up as an individual, whether that's as a wife, a husband, a partner, a team member, etc. It's not just the results that you have. It's whatever roles or ways that you show up in life because you want to be proud and to feel and know that you're doing the best that you can. Best does not mean being perfect. In fact, it's the sensing, believing, and realizing that we are perfectly imperfect. Yes, we are all perfectly imperfect. So as we move forward through this call, I want to share examples of self-sabotage. One of the problems is that I am a night owl. And some of you listening in, especially since this call is taking place in the evening, may also tend to do your best work or be most inspired at night. And that's exactly the way I am. This is where I get my greatest inspiration during the quiet and the late hours of the night. Unfortunately, staying up too late can lead to being disorganized or feeling more tired the next day and just being not as efficient or having difficulty, feeling like I'm prepared as much because maybe I didn't get enough sleep and maybe I just am not as clear in my mind or my energy level is not up. And so this is where it's unique to each of us, that we all have our nemesis, our enemies, as to what it is within us, because all of us can improve and become our better and best selves. And it's about today taking the steps to claim that for yourself and taking the first steps. So as you know, life can be difficult if you don't have the strategies and tools for your success. And this is why I'm so excited about what we're doing tonight, because we're going to discuss actual tools to help you become extraordinary. There's a book that you might have heard that's called Overcoming Self-Sabotage, How to Jumpstart Your Love, Your Happiness, and Your Financial Success. It is a #1 bestseller, I'm happy to say, and you can get it easily on Amazon. It's available in both print and digital versions, and it's full of little stories that keep you interested in different ways that you sabotage yourself and how you can overcome them. And by the way, I know the author very well. So here's my personal story of shame that I'd like to share just a little bit about myself. I came to the U.S. from Japan when I was 7 years of age. At that time, I didn't know how to speak English and didn't know how to read or write. And the thing is, I immediately became ashamed. The reason why I became ashamed was not so much about my language barriers, but it was about my appearance. Because you see, I couldn't change the way I looked or my ethnicity. And people judged me based on the color of my skin and the shape of my eyes. Kids teased and bullied me by slanting their eyes, gesturing, pointing, and name-calling. That's something that really affected me because I had never experienced this type of shaming and bullying behavior in Japan. Yes, I felt ashamed, which is very different than feeling guilt. You don't have to do anything wrong to feel shame, and that's exactly what happened. I took on the meanings and the thoughts of the bullies and felt totally intimidated by them. And here's something that's important for you to know and to remember. A sign of self-sabotage is when you take what others say or do to you personally. Let me repeat that. A sign of self-sabotage is when you take what others say or do to you personally. Not only did I look different, I felt different. Shame is when you feel inadequate, different, less than, which is exactly what I felt. Well, I want you to know that hope exists, because to further add to my story, these uncomfortable experiences in my life have actually helped me. Although at times when I was struggling, I really didn't appreciate the difficulties and challenges. I didn't like the fact that kids are making fun of me. I wanted them to like me. Yes, that's right. I wanted them to like me. So I became the banana in my initial attempts to be accepted, liked, and to fit in. White on the inside, yellow on the outside. And then, as I began to interact more, especially with those who greeted me with direct eye contact or by smiles, I began to initiate conversations, become a good listener, be honest, loyal, fun, and I displayed a sense of humor. So I began to build my relationships and began to develop deep relationships very quickly. This is so important for you to understand, because I want you to know that interactional skills, the relationship skills, can be easily developed. And I want you to have the best relationship with yourself and the best relationship with the people around you. In fine-tuning this conversation on how to be your best self and get through challenges, I want you to remember that your difficult times are temporary. You will not always be in distressing, challenging situations. In fact, you can get through each through the combination of your challenges and the strengths within you. You begin to grow, and you grow through this climate of discomfort. If you're feeling relaxed all the time and feeling comfortable, then you're really not changing, because what's there to change? So situations, especially those that are challenging, can help you to grow, and these are temporary. And at the end is a gift for you of greater strength and perhaps even blessings. The point is, other people, going back to my story, can have a dramatic impact on the way you think, you feel, and act. And what's so great about this teleseminar series that's being offered to you is that you can actually begin to take charge of your own life rather than allowing others to define you. You define yourself. Now, how cool is that? Throughout my personal and my professional life, I have made it my mission to be a messenger of hope and love, and to spread knowledge and skills to become your best self, to be your own best source of support, acceptance, and love. And what you probably don't know is the fact that the secret has been within you all along. Yes, the secret has been within you all along. What I want to cover next will help you discover that secret as I discuss the 3 types of relationships, which are the concept of U3. U1 is really the relationship with yourself. And what I call U2 is the relationship with others. And that can include families, friends, teammates, coworkers, clients, acquaintances, and even strangers. And U3 is that relationship with a special, loving, or romantic partner. The U1 is the relationship with yourself. It's the one that's the most sacred and the one that you have personal control over. And I will talk a little bit about that now. Remember, you cannot directly control others. However, as you shift your behaviors to being more accepting and loving towards yourself and others, others, believe it or not, are naturally drawn and attracted to you, and they want to be with you, to work with you. You can also indirectly affect their behaviors because they can become warmer, friendlier, show more considerate gestures, and cooperate more fully with you. How about that? Just by changing yourself. So what's great about new awareness and learning is to come away with fresh viewpoints of situations, or to learn the art of reframing rather than looking at challenges and struggles as something negative. It's not a matter of if they will happen. It's a sure thing that challenges and struggles will happen. Instead, it's about embracing the challenges, going with the flow as you grow your skills as well as your own personal fortitude. Recently, I was honored to see, to listen, and to meet Bob Bowman, the head coach of the U.S. Olympic swim team, and currently the head coach of the Arizona State University swim team. You might know Bob as the coach and mentor for a very famous athlete, Michael Phelps, the most decorated Olympian of all time, with 23, can you imagine that? 23 gold medals and 28 overall. Bob has been coaching and mentoring Michael since he was 10 years old. When Michael was 11 years old, he wrote that he wanted to compete in the Olympics and win medals. He had a dream that drove him, that he wanted to be the best athlete of all time. And if you want to be the best, you have to have a big dream. But it also drives you to get up each morning and develop yourself to the best. Having a big dream, according to Bob Bowman, is tapping into your emotional side. And I want you to know that you have to be able to harness both your biggest dreams as well as your intellectual and conscious skills to bring your goals and your dreams to fruition. So how would you like to achieve your biggest dreams in the shortest period of time? What would that look like, feel like, sound like for you? How would you feel? What would be the sensations that you would experience? So here's the pathway to change. As we have talked about various life struggles that are a direct result of self-sabotage or the shaming by others that causes you to sabotage. One of my intentions is to help you realize that it doesn't have to be that way. I encourage you to just take a minute and just imagine yourself developing skills to get through challenging situations quickly and with ease, and easily reaching your goals. This is why I coach. These secrets are what I want to share with you. A blueprint, if you will, for how to not just survive, but to thrive through difficult times and to realize and achieve blessings from overcoming each challenging situation and becoming your best self. And in the process, achieve goal after goal, getting closer and achieving your biggest dreams. You've learned a few things about self-sabotage in this call. You've identified yourself and some of the actions, behaviors, characteristics, and you've become aware that transformation is possible for you. It is that change that I want to share with you. I've spent over 30 years teaching others a unique and proven formula for positive change. The concept that I share with you in the upcoming teleseminar series is based on my own proven principles of conscious loving. Conscious loving, you learn how to view yourself, others, and the world around you through the eyes of love. I will also teach you 5 steps to overcoming self-sabotage once and for all. You'll be just amazed how simple these strategies and tools can be, and they can make immediate and long-term differences in your life. My intention with this complimentary teleseminar is to awaken you to that concept of self-sabotage, and more importantly, how to unleash that power in you as you begin to manage its grip on yourself. I also want to thank you for the permission to offer you more than the wisdom in this first call. I will give you much to take away, but I would be remiss to not offer you the benefit of a larger program that I have designed. Unleashing the power in you. In each of the following 5-part series will be in 90 minutes, which include both coaching and time for questions and answers. Your questions, specific to your situation, that you'd like to have answers and have extra help and discussion. So this is your opportunity to learn and to utilize new ideas as well as strategies. It's also an opportunity to hold yourself accountable, to make sure that you are doing what you can to reach the goals you desire for yourself. This teleseminar is not about the shoulds in your life. I want you to stop shoulding on yourself. Instead, the choice offered is about you tuning in to your deepest journeys of what would create the life you've always wanted. It's absolutely about listening to your heart and your mind of what you want for yourself. Imagine 5 short weeks to a transformed you who feels lighter, more confident, happier, more engaged with yourself and others, knowing and using proven strategies to impact your life and those of others with love, acceptance, and nurturing. Now, how much is that worth to you? For only $147, That's right. Only $147. Imagine you get to participate in the full 5-part teleseries. You'll have access to each recording and ultimately receive the transcription of each session packaged with an activity guide. Still not sure if this is for you? Coach Bob Bowman also talked and emphasized the importance of goal setting and have a coach. That's right, of having your own coach. As a matter of fact, he stressed that anyone who's at the top of their field, celebrities, athletes, and others, have a coach that guides them and helps them to keep fine-tuning, to be their best and to have their greatest and fastest results. Wouldn't you like to have a personal coach for yourself? Included in my $147 offer is not only this teleseminar course, but also, get this, an hour of personal coaching with me before, during, or after this series. I want you to be your very best, and I want you to feel irresistible, invincible, and iconic. I want you to be irresistible to yourself and others, to move beyond self-sabotage and fully accept and love yourself and be that irresistible individual and force. So much so that you attract ideal clients who want to work with you. You are attractive and loved to your family, friends, teammates, and attractive even and irresistible to the strangers that you meet. I also want you to be invincible, to easily and smoothly get through any and all challenges. Because as we talked about, it's not whether you're going to have challenges. It's about knowing the blueprint to handle each and every challenge. Finally, I want you to be iconic, to stand out, be recognized, to feel unique and leave a legacy now, not when you're nearing death, not in your old age. So the question remains, what is all this worth to you? 5 additional teleseminars up to 90 minutes with proven coaching methods to get you quickly and effortlessly to your goals. Having access to replay links and downloadable transcripts. A powerful Ask Me Anything access where I answer your questions after each portion of the coaching call. And then personal one-on-one with me. That's right, one-on-one coaching with me. And by the way, if you're listening as a couple, it can be personal one-on-one as an individual or as a couple, before, during, or after the series. The total package is valued at over $2,000, yet it is priceless for the results of happiness, love, and success that you receive, dramatically changing your life forever. The truthful question is, how can you pass up this incredible offer to up your life and get started on achieving your dreams? It is invaluable. I'd like for you to bear this in mind. Imagine yourself becoming 1% better each day. How much more skilled, how much better as an individual, a parent, partner, or to boost your competence and advancement in your career through the ways that you show up each week, month, or at the end of the year. You will grow substantially only if you have new, profound learning as well as action steps. Otherwise, You're prone to doing the same things over and over. Because the reality is, you only know what you know. Yes, you only know what you know, and that is self-sabotage. So let's go back to Bob Bowman again. Did you know that he tested each person he coached and then made them confront uncomfortable situations? Now, he did that because adversities and things going wrong are a natural part of life, but they definitely are going to happen during competitions. And so he wanted people to be prepared. So Bowman actually created uncomfortable situations so athletes could become comfortable, feeling uncomfortable. So for instance, you might remember that in Beijing, Michael Phelps dove in, and his goggles immediately became filled with water. Well, he counted his strokes in practice, so he knew exactly when he needed to turn, even though he was just completely blind in the water. He actually, believe it or not, came in first place. To further that example, Coach Bob would do things like stepping on and cracking or breaking Michael's goggles. Do you remember the most recent Olympics? And Michael tried to put on his swim cap before that relay portion. Do you remember the cap splitting and everyone looking in horror as to whether Michael was going to be able to put that cap back on in time? Well, he quickly reached for another teammate's cap, turned it inside out, and then put it on even though his teammates were trying to help him. He said, hey, I got this. He put it on, and he dove in, and the team won. So wow. Sometimes you can create your own mishaps, such as Michael. And here's another example in his youth, which I just love. When he was ready to start a race, and he reached up to put his goggles on, he realized that he forgot to put them on top of his head. He dove in, and yet he finished first despite his mistake. And that's about mental toughness, and it's about training, and it's knowing what to do in uncomfortable situations. You'll be establishing your own long-term, intermediate, and short-term goals. And a little bit of information about goals. It's important that goals are specific, measurable, and achievable. You see, sabotage is a natural result of setting goals that are much too high. They're more attainable once you learn to develop your whys. I believe in you. This seminar is for you. You are loved. I want you to know that about yourself, that I care about you, and I want to know each of you. I want to help you get to your goals. And I will be with you every step of the way, encouraging you, holding you accountable, just like Coach Bowman did with Michael. You will have time for your questions after each segment. And please bear in mind that the question that you have the courage to ask may very well be the one that someone not so brave wants and needs to hear. So please join me. Invest in your future. Just go to http://bit.ly, and that's bit.ly/OSS, which stands for Overcoming Self-Sabotage. So it's /OSS Teleseminar Series. Again, that's http://bit.ly, bit.ly/OSS Teleseminar Series. which takes you to a direct sign-up that's created specifically for the attendees of this introductory teleseminar. Now, if you have any difficulty in signing up for this special teleseminar series with the Q&A, the transcript, activity guide, then please reach out to me in an email. And my email address is success, SUCCESS, at Dr. Robert or David Robert Mamiko, MAMIKO.com. That's success at drmamiko.com with the subject line, Overcoming Sabotage. Or you can call me anytime at 480-391-1184. That's 480-391-1184. And that's also listed on my website, which you can get there by going to actonlove.com. What a nice title, right? And a nice idea of actonlove.com. So each week, we take steps toward increasing your successes and your feelings of acceptance, towards yourself and others. So it's time to overcome self-sabotage and unleash that power, your power in you. So here's what the weeks look like. Week 1, we identify what is self-sabotage and how do you sabotage yourself. Week 2, we discuss specific goals so that we also list the whys or the reasons behind your goals. 3, to make a commitment to change. 4, what holds you back from successes. And week 3, you get introduced to the art of conscious loving, what that entails, and what is the enemy within. Week 4, we fine-tune conscious loving, and you learn different ways to reframe, as well as letting go of perfection. So we help you to identify your operational rules and beliefs and change these rules to ones that are more functional and healthy. Week 5, it's time to begin to let go of past mistakes, learn how to forgive yourself, and ways to embrace yourself and others. And the final week, 6, you learn the ways to show love to yourself and others. And we celebrate your successes, as well as clarifying the aha moments that are most helpful. And we wrap up with how to continue developing your love and your successes, as well as including the visual imagery for loving yourself to success. So getting back to where we go from here, I want you to have a plan for success. So the first involves signing up and making a commitment to change. That commitment is so important, because this can include learning new strategies and implementing them. And, of course, making that commitment to take the steps to increase your happiness, your love, relationships, and career success. The second involves setting specific goals for each of you to reach. Ideally, as we talked about before, I want you to dream big. I want you to have the biggest dreams that you can imagine, that can fill your heart. And then I want you to chunk it down into doable and achievable action steps that you can take daily or several times a week. Each week, I want you to know you're going to develop new awareness and learn specific skills to utilize your new insights, knowledge, and skills. And so for the next call, please focus on the following homework. So that, see, here's the a promise that I'm fulfilling because I was going to give you the next steps to success. And the first one is make a commitment to sign up for the other teleseries because you'll never know what you're going to miss if you don't sign up. But more importantly, it's making that commitment to yourself to be your best self, and it's also making a commitment to love yourself because you're taking action to love yourself to success. So that's the first part, is just signing up and then making that commitment to change and to become your best self so that you can get the rewards that you so deserve. The second is to determine and to write down your long-term, intermediate, and short-term goals. So here's some qualities about goals. Make sure that they're measurable. So what do I mean by measurable? How are you going to know if you're on track or whether you've reached your goals? Make them small, achievable. So I want to give you an example in terms of losing weight. Let's say that your weight is 165 pounds and you want to get to 135 pounds. If you think about losing 30 pounds, that seems like a lot, and it's easy to give up. And many of you who set that sort of goal may not reach them. So I don't want you to shortchange yourself. I still want you to dream big, but I just want you to chunk it down so that think about losing weight in 5-pound increments. So instead of getting to 135 pounds, then you're at 165 and making your goal to reach 160. That's right, just 5 pounds over the next 3 or 4 weeks. That's doable. And it keeps you encouraged because you think, hey, I can do that. That's a piece of cake. And you want to do that. And successes have a way of just reinforcing even more successes as you feel the rewards. The third is to determine a timeline or a deadline for achieving the goals and objectives. And like I said, the last is to dream big, the bigger the better. So as a summary, in terms of writing down some long-term, intermediate, and short-term goals, make sure that they're measurable and that they're specific so that you know if you're on track or not and whether you're going towards your goals. Make them small and achievable. Third is determine a timeline or deadline for achieving your goals and objectives. And then starting and ending with dreaming big. The bigger the better. And know that as you're going toward this commitment and goals, that you can become 1% better each day. The third thing that I'd like for you to do in preparation for our call, and you're going to have some great examples as to how you can keep fine-tuning, and you can get some help in the Q&A as to your goals that you set, and to make them perhaps more specific or detailed, or ways to make them more easily achievable. And one way to make them achievable, remember, is to list at least 5 whys. The reasons, the basis underneath that gets your heart and your mind pumping. The whys, the reasons that will motivate you. What are the whys? Why is this important to you? And these whys then serve as a reminder about your reasons for unleashing the power in you and the reasons to get up each day and to become that 1% better. I am so looking forward to seeing you on our next calls. If you have any questions about tonight's calls or the next steps going forward, please call me anytime at 480-391-1184. Again, it's 480-391-1184. I want to thank you for being on this call, and I am excited to hear your questions. So I want to go ahead and open this time now to discuss any questions that you have. This is your opportunity to chime in. Thanks, everybody, for being on the call, and have a terrific week. I can't wait to share your visions, your goals with you next week, and just have you continue your journey of love and journey of success. So I act on love today, and I'll see you next week and the weeks after. Take care now.
No, I bet you $100 she's gonna call me.